اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Tonight's topic, in the way of building our characters to be good enough to be friends of Allah Azza wa Jalla, wali min awliya Allah, is Bab al-Jud was-Sakha. Al-Jud was-Sakha synonymous with the four famous words in Islam. Karam or Kareem, the one who gives when asked. He's Kareem. You say he's Kareem, and nothing to do with Muhammad Kareem and Ahmad Kareem. Just is Jawad. He is the one who gives without being asked. He is Jawad. And Ithar, the one who gives all what he has. Full stop. Although he needs, but he gives all what he has. And Sakha, he is happy when you give. He is happy when he gives. Sakha. Giving for the sake of Allah is Sakha, and the Sakhi is giving continuously. So Sakha is happy to give and gives continuously. And usually, Ali ibn Abi Talib asked, how would I know that I'm giving for the sake of Allah? He said, easy. When you give somebody, look into how you felt. When somebody gives you a gift or something, see how you felt. If you are more happy when you give for the sake of Allah than when you take, you are actually giving right charity. Because you're happy somebody is taking this money for you to next life. You will be rewarded for next life. So you are building your next life. When people give you in this life, usually many of us will be quite happy. Even the rich people, if you give them, they will take. They will not say no. Subhanallah. And I found that many of the rich actually keen to take more than the poor need to take. It's munificence, the sakha, and generosity. He translated it in the book to this word.
Means very generous.
Munificence. Very generous. Yeah. So sakha is the one who gives continuously. Ithar, he gives everything he has, even if he's left without none. And Jawad, the one who gives when asked. And the Kareem, without being asked. And the Kareem, the one who gives when asked. Allah Azza wa Jalla described one of them, which is Ithar in the Quran, the top of them. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ويؤثرون على أنفسهم ولو كان بهم خصاصة. They put people who are in need ahead of them, even they are in desperate need for what they give. So here, and Aisha radiallahu anha, عنهما, and her father, she said, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم السخي قريب من الله قريب من الناس قريب من الجنة بعيد عن النار. السخي, the one who gives continuously. He is close to Allah Azza wa Jal. He is close to people. He is close to people. He is near Jannah, nearer to Jannah, and far away from Jahannam. So the sakha will make you really close to Allah. And al-bakhil, the stingy one, the one who doesn't give, he is far away from Allah Azza wa Jal. He is far away from people. And Jazakallah khair. And he is far away from Jannah and nearer to hellfire. And they say the ignorant sakhi, the one who is a giver continuously, he is more loved to Allah Azza wa Jalla than the worshipper who is stingy. So that's another measure.
Sorry, worse than somebody.
The jahil, the ignorant sakhi, the one who doesn't know the religion a lot and he's just basic, knowledge about Islam. He is closer to Allah, more loved to Allah than the one who is worshipping Allah Azza wa Jalla, but he is stingy, doesn't give. And Ustaz Abu Ali Daqqaq said that sometimes people mix Jud and Sakha. As we say, Jawad give without being asked, and Jawad give continuously. He said, ولا يوصف الحق سبحانه وتعالى بالسخاء والسماحة لعدم التوقيف. You can't say about Allah Azza wa Jalla is Sakhi or Jawad or none is not one of his words, Kareem. Allah is the giver without people even deserve. So He gives with wisdom. So Allah is not the one who you can't describe using any of these. People might not give wisely. They might be called Sakhi, I mean, continuously giving, but He's giving the wrong people. And as the story will come later and teach, explain this a bit more. وحقيقة الجود الجواد, it's not difficult for him to spend. And some classify Sakha as Tob, then Jud, and then Ithar. But we said Ithar is the Tob, according to the Quran. He gives even he is in desperate need. But they say Sakha Tob because he continuously give. You don't know the one with the Ithar, he might not do it tomorrow, might not do it next occasion. His wife might not allow him, or her husband might not allow her to give. And Ustaz Abu Ali Daqqaq, he said that Asma bin Kharija, Asma here a man, he said ما أحب أن أرد أحدا عن حاجة طلبها مني إن كان كريما أصون عرضه وإن كان لئيما أصون عنه عرضي. He said, I will not stop giving anyone who asks me for something, because if I am generous, I want to keep that in the mind of people. And if he was a wicked person, I will stop him slandering me. Oh, we went to him and we asked for a couple of quids, he wouldn't give us. He will become like, a broadcaster to put you down. And Muwarraq al-Ajli said, if he wants to give people, his friends, money, he doesn't want to embarrass them, so he goes and say, can you keep this 1,000 pound with you, deposit, I'll come back later and take it. Then a few days later, he phone him, he say, oh, I don't actually need it, you can use it, it's just extra, I don't really need it, use it. So I wouldn't make him feel that if he came and gave him. So he was just giving in hiding. وقيل لقي رجل من أهل منبج رجلا من أهل المدينة, a man from Manbaj in the north of Syria. He met a person from the Medina, probably Aleppo or Idlib, and he said to him, where are you from? He said, from Medina, from the city. And فقال له, a man came from your city called Al-Hakam ibn Abdul Muttalib, and he made us sufficient, we don't need anything. And the man from the city, he said, how? And he himself is poor, he's just had his wool coat. He said, he didn't give us money, but he taught us generosity. So we started giving each other and it became sufficient. We didn't need anybody. He taught us how to be self-sufficient. And Ustaz Abu Ali Daqqaq said, a guy went to the Khalifa and he insulted the Sufis, and they are this and that, it's amazing. It's really so broke our heart that they killed 56 people in Pakistan today because they are celebrating the Milad al-Nabi. It's amazing.
Right.
Have you heard it? In 2 mosques, 1 mosque, 52 were killed, in another 4, plus obviously 100 injured. Suicidal mission.
Reason because
Bid'ah.
Because they thought it was
Bid'ah. Yeah. Imagine. Which religion allow this? No. Not even Hindu, Sikh, or Buddhist.
It's okay to kill people.
It's amazing.
For them.
What sort of mentality is this? Is criminal mentality. Just they are like psychopath. So he went, and the Khalifa ordered that they should be killed because they are zindiq, out of religion. So when they wanted to start killing them, and Nouri, he said to the executor, kill me first, kill me first. I said, oh, it's amazing. Why would you put yourself ahead of everybody and you are going to die? It's not like, food or money or something. And he said, I want to really exercise ethar and give them an hour extra so they could live another hour extra. So he stopped. So that's amazing, behavior. What sort of people these are? And he went and told the Khalifa, and the Khalifa, when they sent them to the judge, and he said, find out what are they really. So the judge started with the Nouri, and he said to him, started asking him about fiqh, about does he know the religion or not. So like, what is zakah? He said, in our عندنا, with us or with you? He said, both. What's that? You have to another religion? He said, for you give 2.5% of your working, you give 5% of agriculture, you give 10% of agriculture which is not rained, and you give this and that about the cows and camels and things. And he said, okay, what about you? He said, all the money belongs to Allah. All the money belongs to Allah, so not to give him 2.5%, all the money to Allah Azza wa Jal. And he asked him, every time he asked him, he said, in our religion or your religion? What about Salah? All devoted to Allah, all time to Allah. So he said to him, the judge sent to the Khalifa, he said, if these are Zanadiqa, the apostates, there's no Muslims in the face of the earth. If these are Zanadiqa, apostates, there's no Muslims in the face of the earth. And Ali ibn al-Fudayl, he used to buy from the local. That's what we need really, a lesson to us. He said, they said to him, why don't you go to the market? It's cheaper. He said, these people prefer to come nearer to us to save us the time and the effort to go to the market. And they charge a bit more extra, but it's fine. They're good from them to come near us to sell. So this is generosity. وقيل, a man came and gave Jabla a servant, and he didn't like that. He had a gift servant, and there's 80 of his friends, they had nothing. So he went and bought 80 servants, 80 slaves, and gave each one. So he doesn't want to be the odd one out. He had the slave and everybody had nothing. And عطش Ubaydullah ibn Abi Bakr يوما, he was thirsty, Ubaydullah ibn Abi Bakr, on his way, and he went to a house of a woman, and she gave him water, and she stayed behind the door, and وقالت, you stay on the side of the door, and my servant died, so I don't want to be looked as people chatting to me directly. And Ubaydullah, he drank the water, and he gave her 10,000 dinar and 10,000 dirham. And she said, are you sarcastic with me? Why would you give me 10,000 dirham for a drink? He said, okay, we'll make it 20,000. And she said, As'alullah al-afiyah. I'm really asking Allah to cure you. What's wrong with you? So he said to his guy, give her 30,000. So she closed the door, and he took she took his servant, took the money and gave it to her. فأخذتها فما أمست حتى كثر خطابها. So she was, her husband died, and nobody came to marry her. So when he gave her the 30,000, she got engaged in the evening. She had money. So he was generous to her, but he sorted another problem for her. And then Ashab Abu Hassan al-Shujani, his friends, may Allah be blessed with him, they said he was in the toilet, and like, you know, you hang your coat and you go to the toilet. So he called his and somebody asked for help. So he called his servant and said, take my coat and give it to him. He said, why wouldn't you wait till you come out of the loo? He said, no. The first idea came to my mind is to give. So I don't want to come out of the loo and the idea change. You know, I need that it's cold outside or something. So he reacted straight away to the first thought came to his mind to give. وقيل لقيس بن سعد بن عبادة, Sa'd ibn Ubadah, one of the companions of the Prophet, was very, 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 very generous. Every day he used to send a big, like, you know, halle, we call it, not a casserole, a big, like, you know, a barrel of food to the Prophet ﷺ. And when the Prophet want to marry a woman, and he said to her, and I have the hallat Sa'd ibn Ubadah. It's one of the things I own is the halla, that's food coming every day. So his house was open for people to eat. People from the Sufa used to eat from it. People passing by come and eat from the sad food every day, comes every day. So his son was asked, have you seen anyone more generous than you? He said, yes. We were traveling in the desert, and we met a woman whose husband came, and she said to him, we have guests who are waiting here. So he came with a she-camel and he slaughtered it, and he said, eat. And the next day he came with another camel and slaughtered it and eat. They haven't finished the camel you slaughtered yesterday. And he just ate it. And he came the third day, and again he slaughtered another third camel, and he said, eat. Why are you doing that? He said, I don't want my guests to eat what's left over. You know, the leftover from yesterday. So, and he said, they stayed with him for 2-3 days, more days, and start training, and he was slaughtering these camels, and then we gave him we left with his wife 100 dinar, like thanking him for that, and they said to his wife, you know, please apologize for us because we need to go. And when they are just about to leave the area, he was after them shouting, stop, you wicked people. You can't give me the price of my generosity. So, and they were trying to, you know, hesitate. He said, if you don't, I will fight you. I will, you know, fight you with my arrow. And then he said, a poet, وَإِذَا أَخَذْتَ ثَوَابَ مَا أَعْطَيْتَهُ فَكَفَى بِذَلِكَ لِنَائِلٍ تَقْدِيرًا. If you take a reward for what you gave, that's really, sometimes I get upset, you know, if I do something to you, you don't need to pay back. I'm happy, you know, I accepted this help or this gift or this. So don't pay back. And he went, Sheikh Abdurrahman al-Salami, he said, Abu Abdullah al-Rosbari, he went to the house of one of his friends who was a Sufi like him, and he wasn't there in the house, and the door was locked. So he unlocked the door, and they went inside and sold everything in the house. You Sufi, you should be relying on Allah. Don't go and grab these things and, you know, all the ornament and all the fancy stuff. And so, and I bought some food, and they stayed in the house, and then the guy came with his wife, and she noticed that they sold everything. So she went to her room, and she took her top dress and she threw it to them. She said, that's also extra. We don't need, so go and sell it. So you know, even we are better than what you even thought. And then her husband said, why you did that? She said, keep quiet. This guy is judged that we are really close to Allah. We're not so attached to dunya. So we don't want to disappoint him, but to prove him right. And Bishr al-Harith, Ibn al-Harith said, To look into a stingy person will make your heart hard. And وقيل مرض قيس بن سعد بن عبادة. He became ill, and nobody came to visit him. So he thought, they are shy because they owe me a lot of money. So he sent somebody to all his friends, and he said that if anybody owes me any money, doesn't have to pay it back. You're free. It's just a gift from me. And then they said his doormat broke in the evening because of so many people came to visit him. Because, they're not embarrassed. There's no date, And they said to Abdullah ibn Jafar that sometimes you give a lot, and sometimes you ask for small things and you didn't give. He said, I use my brain to give, so I don't want to appear idiot. I'm giving anybody and everybody. Well, I was outside Syria for many years, and my brother had his children, boys, all of them, 4 or 5 boys. So I came back. The first time was 2006. And I came from town, and they were outside the house. So I gave each one of them what's equal to, at that time, 500, like 10 pounds each. And they said to me, and I gave them 7 boys or 8 boys. And my nephew said, these are not our brothers. I didn't know my nephews. These are not our brothers. So I appeared like an idiot giving people money. I don't know. When I said it to my brother, he died now. Well, Allah bless his soul. He said they never mentioned this story to me. They didn't hear it. And this Abdullah ibn Jafar went to a farm he has, and he came to فنزل على نخيل قوم فيها غلام. They were a farm with dates, and there were black guys there work for them. And the dog came to the farm and came nearer to the ghulam. So the guy, this black guy, and he gave him a loaf of food, and the dog ate it. Then he gave him a second one, he ate it, and he gave him the third one, he ate it. And Abdullah ibn Jafar looking at him, and he said, "Oh, young man, how much you get every day?" He said, why? Because he said, what I saw, that you gave the dog more than what you have. And this is not, the guy said, you gave him a lot of food, so you need to keep some for you. And he said to him, this land here, the farms here, there's no dogs here. So this dog must have come searching for food. I spotted that, so I'm giving him enough to make him feel full. And that would be okay to live without food. So he gave him like his lunch food, and they said, I would be okay. So what Abdullah bin Ja'far did, he bought the farm, and he freed the ghulam, freed the slave, he bought him, and he gave him the farm. He was very impressed with his generosity. Generosity extended to the dog. He noticed the dog is a strange dog. We don't have dogs here, so he must be searching for food. So this is another story that a guy came to his friend and he asked for 400 dirham. So he came back, gave him 400 dirham, and came back to his wife crying. I said, why are you crying? He said, he asked for 400 dirham. And she said, and you gave it to him. He said that I'm crying because I didn't spot before that he needs money. I was blinded from looking at my friends that he needs money. And when Mutraf, he wanted to help people, he said, write on paper what you need. He doesn't want them to tell him, his face. And here وقيل أراد أن يضار عبد الله بن العباس فأتى وجوه البلد وقال يقول لكم لا. So somebody wants to embarrass Abdullah ibn Abbas, and he went to the supermarket and he said, Abdullah ibn Abbas inviting you all to food today. So he ordered food and bread and fruits as well, and he cooked for them. And when they finished, he said, come every day, you will have the same. To disappoint that guy, you know, the guy who wanted to embarrass him, he said to the people, come every day, you will have the same. But to make that jealous person even more jealous would be. And a guy came and asked Abdurrahman Salami, he was making wudu. He said, wait, he asked him for something, he didn't have much. He waited till he finished his wudu, and then he gave him the qumquma. And he waited, he gave him, like, you know, like the only thing he has in the house. And his people, why he gave him the only thing he has, he gave him that, and then he waited till the guy is unreachable, like he disappeared. Then he shouted, oh, somebody stole the bucket, somebody stole the bucket. So they rushed, and they couldn't find the person who stole the bucket. They said, why did you say that? He said, because my family keep criticizing me for being generous, so I didn't want to appear generous. I mean, like somebody stole the things. It wasn't me who gave it. He stole the things. So this guy was Abu Sahel جبته من إنسان في الشتاء. He gave his coat to a man in the winter, and he was wearing his wife's coat when he goes out to teach. And he said to him, فقدم الوفد معروفون. There's a lot of people who are famous came. And he went, and to hide the jubba of his wife, he put dra, like a shield on top of it. And a man said to the head of the delegation, he said, oh, he's sarcastic towards you. He's wearing a shield. So he was hiding. It wasn't like he's sarcastic. He was hiding the coat of his wife. So he wouldn't, Abu Sahel was like leaving things and go for somebody to take it. Like he can't come to him, I gave you this. He can't in the future say, I gave you this, and you remember when I handed you that. So he doesn't want to have that memory in his mind or in the mind of the receiver. And this guy, Abu Murtad, he said, one of the poets came and gave him poetry, he's praising him. And he said, I haven't got any money to give you. So he said, take me to court and take me to the police station, claim that I owe you 10,000 dirham. So he said, why is that? He said, don't worry. They will put me in the cell, and my family will not let me stay in the cell. They will come and give me the 10,000 dirham, and then I'll give it to you. See the point? So they won't let me stay in the police cell. They will bring the money. I'll take the money and give it to you. That will be my gift to you. And a wife asked the Layth bin Sa'd for a jar of honey, and he gave her like a barrel of honey. And he said, why did she ask only for a jar? He said, she asked for what she thinks she deserves, but we gave her what we think she deserves. And So a guy came to visit Al-Ash'ath bil-Kufa. They gave him, like, food and pair of shoes. Have you given everybody like this? I said, no, this is Al-Ash'ath came from Mecca. So he ordered to give everybody there the same, like what he's got. When the Shafi'i about to die, and they said, he said, ask so-and-so to wash me when I die. But the guy was away. When he came back, he was told, and he was told that, he asked that you wash him. And he looked into that, what's the real story, that he had a debt of 70,000 dirham. So he paid it on his behalf, and he said, this is my wash. This is what he meant. I wash him. And when a Shafi'i came from Sana'a to Mecca, he had 10,000 dinar. And they said, you can buy this and this with it. And then he said, no, he went and gave it all to people and stood up and nothing with them. So they, like, the traders came, or the state agent, and, you can buy this with this, you can buy this with this. So he said, no, he gave it away. So خرج السري يوم العيد, and he saw a man important, and he made half salam to him, like assalamu alaikum, or assalamu alaikum without anything, rahmatullah. And they said to him, you gave him half salam, and he is an important person. And he said, from the hadith, when two Muslims meet each other, there will be 100 blessings from Allah. 90 to the one who start, or the one who are more welcoming to the person, and 10 for the other guy. And I wanted him to have the 90. That would be a gift from me. And وقال بكر أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب, he was found crying. They said, why are you crying? He said, I didn't have a guest for the last 7 days. And I think might Allah will hate me because people don't come and see me generous. Then I had a guest for 7 years. Some people never have a guest. It's like we have, when we were in Wales, the guy opposite was the head of the pharmacy in North Wales. Very important job and things. And he came to me and said, I want to ask you for something. And what's that? He said, being the leaders of the Muslims in the area, I'm not the leader. There's a lot of cars come to your house. There's a lot of cars come to your house, so you must be the leader. We look at our neighbors. Some of them get 2 guests in Christmas. Some don't get any guests. When Michael left the house, we never saw him till his dad was dying. I never saw him before. Probably he comes smuggle himself in. I asked his dad, did you go and see your son? He's in Holland. It costs a lot of money to go there. The hotel, very costly, the plane and things. Now, subhanAllah, he died, and there is Range Rover and the Mercedes 450 SLE outside, and the big house. And he wouldn't spend that little money to go and see his son in. And روي عن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه أنه قال زكاة الدار أن يتخذ فيها بيت للضيافة. The zakah of the house is to have a corner for the guests. Subhanallah, until now we in Syria, we say this is the guest room. I'm sure many of you might have. This is the guest room. And it's nobody there. I mean, you have this empty room all the time as a guest room. It's ready always for people to come in. You don't have to tidy it up and things. People, I went to see this guy, the same guy, the head of the pharmacy. He made the extension. He extended the bathroom upstairs. And I went on Saturday. I said, that will really look nice. And I'm thinking of doing the same. Can I have a look? He said, a week on Wednesday. You can come a week on Wednesday. And it's Saturday, like in 10 days. So while Muslims should be, obviously, ready for هل أتاك حديث ضيف إبراهيم المكرمين? Mentioned the Quran. The guest of Ibrahim who came, they were going to destroy the how far we are? Yeah, we're nearly finished. I stretched it too much for you. So Al-Junayd said 4 things that if you are an honorable man you shouldn't have them. You should have them even if you are a ruler, to stand up for your father and serve his guests and serve the teacher you learn from him and ask for what you don't know. So you don't feel ashamed of doing them. Stand up for your when your father walks in, stand. Here he said قيامه من مجلسه لأبيه. Let your father sit in the place the place you choose and serve his guests. So you're expected to have guests to your father and serve. And Ibn Abbas said in the ayah, ليس عليكم جناح أن تأكلوا جميعا أو أشتاتا. Allah Azza wa Jalla also made that you can eat from the you can eat collectively or individually, and this is why they were a bit embarrassed to eat alone in their house. So they want to invite people to eat with them. And they said if people leave you and go away, if you are good, they are the losers. So if they leave you and go away and you are really good neighbor and things, then you should stay with you. إذا ترحلت عن قوم وقد قدروا أن لا يفارقهم فالراحلون هم. If you leave people because they are so stingy and they're so mean and things, they are the one who deserted the place. They are the losers. And Abdullah said in Mubarak, سخاء النفس عما في أيدي الناس. If you really don't want what people have, that's more generosity than being, I want this, I want that. And some said that I went to Bishop ibn al-Harith في يوم شديد البرد وأنا من الثياب. So he went to visit Bishop ibn al-Harith and it was very cold outside. And he has little clothes on. And he said, Ya Aba Nasr, people put more clothing in these days, cold days, than less. And he said, when it became very cold, I remember these poor people who have no clothes on. So I went and gave them my clothes. So the clothes made him donate his clothing. And إنما السخاء أن يعطي المعدم الواجد. The generosity of the one who doesn't have, give. The one who have. I was really shocked. Many people actually we saw their wardrobes. We saw how much clothing, and it comes like disaster after disaster. We went from here to Jordan with all the family. We had 3 suitcases full of clothing for the refugees and things. And I know some relatives there, and the wardrobe full of clothing. We brought the clothing from England to refugees, and you didn't get it from the wardrobe to the refugees. And people came to the house, and we were in their houses, and they collected the suitcases. They didn't feel embarrassed enough to say, hold on, we'll give you another 3 suitcases. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. اللهم اجعل اجتماعنا هذا اجتماعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما. May Allah make our meeting blessed and protect us after leaving here. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر والحمد لله رب العالمين. We need to get more people